WWE is now on ESPN, a $1.6 billion deal for the new streaming. We're going to talk about the first PLE they had today, Wrestlepalooza. Stay tuned after the intro. Welcome back to Collard Greens and Nerdy Things, your favorite nerd podcast. I'm your host, King, and this is the greatest co host, JC3. And today we are going to be going over WWE Wrestlepalooza, the latest PLE from WWE. First, let's do a little housekeeping. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to your friends. Tell everybody about this podcast. We're trying to spread the word, and we are on the road to 1,000 followers and subscribers on YouTube. So if you're watching this, hit us that favor, hit subscribe, and watch us along for the rest of the stuff we do. But let's get directly into the show. And the first match, two big names, and we're going to see what Jay thinks. Brock Lesnar and John Cena. Kick us off, Jay.
Well, the way that the PLE started off, I would say for me was a little underwhelming. I was also watching the AEW pay-per-view at the time, and a friend of mine were going over to the theater to see Wrestlepalooza. So we came in maybe 5 minutes after the match had even started. But to be honest, uh, I don't think we really missed much because majority of this match was Lesnar beating the crap out of Cena. Um, in normal circumstances, I would say that this is a good move, right? It's a good way to establish a heel by Brock coming in and ruining Cena's retirement tour. This would have been a good idea if it hadn't already happened over a decade ago, in my opinion. I can literally close my eyes right now and remember where I was, what I was doing at the time for SummerSlam of 2014 when it was Brock Lesnar against John Cena, and literally the same thing happened. That's actually where Suplex City was created. You know, Brock Lesnar gave multiple suplexes to John Cena, F5'd him, beat the crap out of him. There was no contest whatsoever. There was no match. It was just Brock dominating, and it was pretty much the same here. I know Paul Heyman came out, announced Brock Lesnar. I know that was probably a nice little throwback for him being his advocate back in the day. But yeah, we got barely any offense from Cena, multiple F5s, even a referee got F5'd. And I believe Cena ate six F5s before he got pinned and then took one more after the fact. If the desire from WWE was to see a shocked look on the face of Tyrese Halliburton, they did it. They did what they were supposed to do. If WWE's goal was to make little children cry, they succeeded. If WWE's goal was to satisfy the longtime fans that have been watching this pretty much forever, like myself, kind of bit of a letdown because we've already seen this before. But those are my thoughts on the first match. I need to hear what you think.
Interesting for me, right? Because I remember in the early 2000s when those both those guys were first introduced was like the time that I was dropping out of WWE and just outside living life. And I've seen them wrestle before. I was interested to see what this would look like because for me, I've never really seen them go at it, but I know what Brock Lesnar's recipe generally is. And for the most part, most of Brock Lesnar's matches feel like squash matches. He's just going to come in and destroy whomever he's wrestling against. So I was curious of what WWE was going to do as far as angles, how they were going to write this story. I did hear rumor that earlier in that day, Cena was scheduled to actually win that match. But throughout the day, at some point, they decided something different for the storyline and then had Lesnar win. Don't know if that's 100% true, but a rumor I heard online. The match for me was cool. I thought it was cool to kind of check out everybody's entrances. I really loved John Cena's entrance with all the kids. I thought that was really fun thing to do and kind of getting him back into that babyface role where we like him. Again, I like John Cena more in that babyface role than I ever did as a heel. It just didn't fit right for me. And of course, the beast incarnate is back. I think it's an interesting play to have Brock Lesnar come back because I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do with him overall. What kind of storylines and stuff they're going to put him into. Uh, but he destroyed the hell out of Cena. It was pretty much a squash match. Cena really didn't get much in. He tried a couple moves. He tried to do some stuff, but who can survive as many F5s as he took, man? That was crazy. So it was an all right match. It wasn't the best. It was kind of what I expected, but less fun than I expected. It just happened all, I think, a little too quick. Let's move on to the next match, which was the tag team match that I know you and me were kind of discussing before the actual PLE, and that was Braun Breaker with Bronson Reed fighting the Usos. It's good to see the Usos back together. So, what was your thoughts on that match?
Yeet. All right, let's go to the next one. I'm playing. I thought it was a pretty good, strong match. I love the Usos. To me, they're one of, if not the greatest tag team in WWE. Going up against the Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, like you said, two guys who are being looked at as the future of the WWE. We can clearly see why with how they've been dominating ever since this faction was created by Seth Rollins. Yeah, again, I thought it was a strong match. Rules were thrown out the window here because we also had LA Knight as the special guest referee. Excuse me, LA Knight. Yeah. Um, and he caused a lot of trouble in this match. Because of him, that's why rules really didn't matter. We had steel chairs that were involved, we had tables, great tag team spots. I think the Usos got a good 1D on the bronze there. But there was a bit of trouble in this match because since there were chairs that were used, our boy Jay Uso kind of got a little excited with the chair that he had. I don't think it's been. I don't think I've seen it, or it's been a while since I've seen a man hit another man so hard with the chair that the chair bounces back and it hits him in the face, busts him open. That moment in the match happened so quick. I literally looked at my friend. I'm like, "What just happened? How did he get busted open? Like that's crazy." I think maybe because of that, they probably decided to speed the match up a little bit and end things. After Jay got busted open by his own steel chair, we got a double spear by Braun Breaker. He speared both the Usos through the table, and then we got a tsunami from Bronson Reed onto Jay for the win for the 1, 2, 3. Again, thought it was a pretty good, strong match. Just a lesson, don't get too excited, man. Lesson up on them chair shots, Jay. Stop hurting yourself. He's too mad. He's too angry. We need the lighthearted yeet back. You know what I mean? What you think?
I'm glad he's okay. We're recording this after the episode, obviously, and we Jay Uso has posted a picture, and he's got a good like 2 inch stitches and scar that he had on his head. So it wasn't a work. He really was bleeding. And in that moment, you can kind of see that it looks like they had to make a decision to really end the match early because he was bleeding way too much. And the cameras were trying to do what they could to focus on other people. I thought it was a fun match. I love to see the Usos. Jay Uso is one of my favorite characters in the WWE. I love to see the Usos together. I hate it when they're separate. And the Bronze are always a good team to fight up against. They are the future of the WWE for sure. And what I'm predicting and what I want to see that I'm just putting out into the universe is I really want to see Braun Breaker and Brock Lesnar. And I think we could eat all day off that match. So I'm excited to see what they do next. Of course, the Vision team picks up the dub. Uh, Hopefully, Jay's back at it this week. We'll see SmackDown tomorrow, whether he's there or not. But overall, really fun match. Overall, really fun match. Let's move on to the next match. And this one is a big one, the WWE Women's World Championship. And of course, that was vacated by Naomi when she had to leave because she's bringing little baby Naomi and little Big Jim into the world. We don't know which one yet, but vacated that title. And the two top contenders fought for the belt. The two top contenders were Stephanie Valkyr and Io Sky. Take it, Jay. What'd you think of this match?
Oh man, I will say that this was my favorite match of the night. I loved watching these two compete. You have two of the most respected and acclaimed women in wrestling right now going at it. You know, with Io Sky, already, in my opinion, a legend in the game, has done so much in WWE and is so talented, multiple time champion. Against Stephanie Vaquer, arguably the fastest rising star in WWE at this point. This woman has already been a double champion in NXT before she even came to the main roster. She made the choice to go to their developmental NXT instead of going to main roster first, which she could have, but she did that because she wanted to make sure she honed her skills. And let me tell you, she is so much better off for it. Stephanie Vaquer, in my opinion, is going to be the number one women's wrestler in the days and years to come, especially after this performance. I love the match between these two. I love the multiple moves that were made in this. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Devil's Kiss from Stephanie Vaquer. And again, maybe arguably the most favorite move in wrestling currently. The crowd got a big pop for it, although Io Sky did counter her Devil's Kiss a couple times, which I thought was very interesting. We really haven't seen that too much. But of course, Stephanie, got the move in on her, and we get the da, da, da. Shout out to Booker T. We also had a knee angle in this match. They were playing on Io's knee, being injured throughout the match. Stephanie working on it throughout, but Io fighting through it. She actually took off her knee pad to deliver her finisher, the over the moonsault, but it was blocked by La Primera. And we had in my opinion, a fantastic finish with Stephanie Vaquer doing a spiral tap from the top rope and landing on Io Sky for the 1, 2, 3. And right there, ladies and gentlemen, we have our new women's world heavyweight champion, and Stephanie Vaquer. This match to me was amazing. It further solidified to me that I think that women's wrestling is carrying WWE in the year of 2025 right now, just based off the card that we've already had. You know what I mean? Like, even with the marquee match being Lesnar and Cena, and as popular and legendary a tag team as the Usos are against the Bronze, this match stood out because the women in this division are just that good. Tremendously proud for Stephanie Vaquer, and I cannot wait to see what she does in the future, which also may include a match against good old Tiffy at the next PLE. But what did you think, man?
My favorite match of the night, easily my favorite match of the night. The a level of respect that those two gave each other, move for move, match for match. They kept going back and forth. There was a spot on the top of the ropes where they did almost, it was regular, but it was almost this reverse Spanish fly. It was amazing. The Stephanie working on that knee, and she kept doing those whips off the top of the rope with that knee. I loved it. I love Stephanie Vaquer. I'm a huge fan of hers. We've been watching her. I've been watching her come up when she got signed into WWE and went into NXT. I'm loving seeing every bit of it. I think she has what Io Sky has, and they both have some of the best in-ring work of any of the wrestlers that are on the roster. Clean execution of their moves and clean execution of their character. Lapi Meta against the Genius of the Sky, it was a monumental match. And of course, like you said, it was only, topped off by Stephanie Valkyr winning. And you can see the true emotion in her eyes of this moment, the moment that she had been waiting for since she was a child, since she was a little girl, becoming the champion. And one of the most heartwarming moments was her going to her father and handing him the championship and letting him hold it up, and the kind of joy and tears in his eyes of pure joy was amazing. It was just a lovely moment for wrestling, for sports entertainment, and for the WWE. So my favorite match easily. Let's move right on to the next match. Now, this match is the one that going into it, I would have thought would have been your favorite match. And that is, of course, the return of AJ Lee and, of course, her husband, CM Punk, against the Vision's leaders in Seth freaking Rollins and Becky Lynch. Kick off the match. What did you think?
Uh, to sum it up in one word, man, honestly, for me, this match was fun. Just being a fan for this long and seeing when legendary wrestlers make a return after being gone for so long and being reminded of how good they are and reminded of how loved they are from all their fans and how they were never forgotten. We got that with this match, man. AJ Lee has been away from the business for over 10 years, and we forget that she really, before the women's division even became what it is now, she was actually one of the first people to start that train moving to get women noticed more in wrestling. So mad respect to AJ Lee. So glad that she's the wife of the best wrestler in the world, CM Punk. I enjoyed the attire that I'll even say both couples had coming out to the ring. Loved CM Punk's jacket that said AJ's husband. You can just tell how proud he is to be with that woman. And shoot, I would be too. The attire from Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. I mean, what else can you say? You know how these two dress up. They dress ridiculous and they dress crazy. These purple get-ups that they had on, literally, like, it had me roll my eyes, but it was one of those things of like, I'm used to you guys. If you didn't do this, I would think you were weird. So this makes sense. Cool. Love the match. We had a lot of good husband wife tag team spots in this, especially from AJ Lee and CM Punk. We had, I believe, a some bulldogs done together. We had some running knees at the same time. We had even some shining wizards, kicks to faces. Some really good stuff from AJ Lee and CM Punk. I would say Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch controlled majority of the match, definitely worked as good heels. I believe we had a double submission spot where AJ Lee had her submission move, the Black Widow, on, while CM Punk had the sharpshooter on Seth Rollins. I absolutely loved that spot. Surprising spot that I saw, which actually looked a little ridiculous, was Becky Lynch and CM Punk up in a sharpshooter. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay, this is the one part of this match where it's like I can't suspend disbelief. Punk, get your ass up and cross your legs. Like, this is ridiculous. But he reversed it on her, thank goodness. Also, a funny spot in the match is when Seth had hoisted up Becky Lynch over his head so he could drop her on CM Punk, but Punk moved out the way and she just landed right on the mat. I laughed out loud in the theater when that happened, my guy. I had a couple people look back at me like, oh, he really liked that. Yes, I did. And the finish, with Becky, going for her Beck's bottom. They call it the manhandle slam. I call it the Beck's bottom. And that getting reversed into AJ's Black Widow and AJ getting the submission win on Becky Lynch, who a lot of people, including myself, consider to be the greatest women's wrestler of all time currently right now. That's a really good spot for AJ Lee. I'm very happy for her. I'm guessing that will lead into a possible championship match between those two. But just seeing the sheer utter joy on Punk's face after AJ got the win, and just seeing them embrace afterwards. Again, you can clearly tell that this is a happy couple, and he's proud of his wife. She's proud of him. And honestly, man, I'm glad they got that moment, and I'm glad I got to see that because nobody ever thought Punk would come back to wrestling, period. And the fact that he came back, we all know that's what allowed AJ Lee to come back. So it's just a gift. It's a gift to have as a wrestling fan. But what did you think?
I've never seen AJ Lee wrestle. I knew about her. I knew about her existence. I knew about her relation to CM Punk and who she was, but I've never seen her actually wrestle. That was a treat. This, I would echo what you said. This match, if I was to use one word, I would also use fun. Easily the funnest match for me. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed looking at how those two couples decided to set up these spots. And like you said, they had a bunch of spots. One of my favorite spots is they were all tangled up in each other, and Seth Rollins is on the floor, and CM Punk gives AJ Lee a boost over as Becky Lynch kind of suplexes her, but she lands on Seth Rollins. It was just a crazy sequence. There was something that I saw in this match that I haven't really seen a lot since the Attitude Era when I was really watching as a young person was you actually had a lot of the women and men interacting with each other in ring, which because of the PG era, you don't see it. When I was a kid, men and women fought each other in the ring all the time. China was beating everybody's, but in this new PG era, none of the men, really wrestle against the women or hit the women. In this match, you got to see a little bit of that. A little bit of that back and forth of, hey, you hit my wife, I'm going for it. You hit my husband, I'm going for it. It was a fun match. They had they you could tell that the two of them groups were having a good ass time. And I think the audience mostly responded to this match because it was a good ass time. It was good to see all of them in the ring and this beef that's been building up between Seth Rollins and CM Punk that is now spilled over into their couples, which I agree with you. I think at some point, AJ Lee will take Becky's Intercontinental Championship, as well as I do expect at some point CM Punk will take that belt away from Seth Rollins. And I think that's the way it should be. I think that those
Me
two
too.
should go on a nice run as champions, and I'm here for it. I'm excited. So for me, I enjoyed the hell out of that match, man. It was fun. Let's move on to the last match of the night. The headliner, the big match. It was Drew McIntyre finally getting a chance to go up against Cody Rhodes for the championship. Kick us off. What are your thoughts?
I thought that this was a strong main event, honestly. Um, it was cool to see the fact that we're really trying to sell certain injuries in these matches because we already mentioned Io selling her knee injury. In this match between Cody and Drew, we had Cody selling his head injury from when Drew delivered a claymore to him on a SmackDown right through the announce table. So I did enjoy that they were playing with that a bit because it kind of made you think like, wait, like, is there a chance that Cody may not, leave with the title here? Um, I would say the spot that just comes to mind the most is when McIntyre went for a Claymore through the announce table again, but ended up missing, causing him to also not be able to do another Claymore once he got back in the ring, and that allowed Cody to hit a Super Cody cutter from the top rope and then finish him with a Crossroads for the win. Um, I did enjoy this match just because honestly, I do like the both of these characters. I am very proud and happy for where Cody Rhodes is currently right now in the company. I saw that he currently right now on Pro Wrestling Illustrated, he was named the #1 wrestler of this year. And I think it's very well deserved. As far as Drew McIntyre goes, I'm a big advocate for him. I support Drew McIntyre. I feel like he hasn't gotten a fair shake with the title ever since the pandemic era. And I've kind of been rooting for him to get something. And this is one of those times where if Cody lost the title to Drew McIntyre, I honestly wouldn't have been upset because I do feel like Drew McIntyre is deserving of a win, especially one that counts. You know what I mean? I know that he won the World Heavyweight Championship from Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 40, but he didn't even hold it for very long. Um, I feel like if WWE is going to keep putting Drew McIntyre in these main event spots, then eventually he has to win. Otherwise, you're just going to lose a very good talent that could possibly go somewhere else. It's the same thing for me as the Karrion Cross situation. Like if you're going to keep putting this guy in these big spots, eventually he has to win, or nobody's going to take him seriously, and his credibility is only going to go further and further down. But with that being said, again, I thought this was a very strong match. I'm glad that Cody Rhodes retained. But what did you think?
I don't care about this match. I'm gonna be quite frank with you. I like Drew McIntyre. I'm enjoying him. I think he's a good talent. I think he's a good wrestler. Um, but next to Cody Rhodes, I don't care. I was not rooting for Drew McIntyre at all. I don't want him to be the champion. If he would have beat Cody Rhodes, I would have been calling BS all up and down the streets. I enjoy Drew McIntyre, but at the point that we are at right now, I'm sorry, man. Him and Karrion Cross can go to AEW, both of them, right now. Get in the car together and go talk to Tony Khan because I feel like we need to rework this stuff, man. We need to rework this stuff. Drew's character has been whining about not getting a fair shake for the last 2 years. And he's not wrong, but also clearly the company doesn't have enough faith in putting the whole purse in his pocket. So be gone. I was not interested. Part of me knew Drew was not gonna win. And honestly, good on him. If he was going to win any title, I'd rather see him go for the heavyweight championship title. But at this moment, I'd rather see CM Punk hold it. So honestly, I can't pick a title that I would be like, okay, give it to Drew McIntyre. Maybe the Intercontinental, but I think that would be better suited on Penta. So right now, I don't know what they're gonna do with Drew McIntyre. Brock Lesnar's around. Let them fight it out. Let them have some big guy matches. Let them two fight it out. It was the headlining match was kind of meh to me. I didn't really care. I love the Cody one. I'm a Cody crybaby, Rock. I'm a Cody crybaby. So I'm all about Cody. Bye, Drew. We'll see you next time. Leave for a little while, come back, rework that shit, come back. Excuse my French. I'm so sorry. But with all that being said, let's give our final thoughts and then we're going to let Jay close this show out and get on the road. I would say overall for me, this PLE on a scale of 1 to 10 would probably be a 7.5. Definitely not like a oh my god PLE, but it definitely had some fun spots. There was definitely three matches out of it that I really enjoyed, and then two that were like meh. So I give it above average, but not the bee's knees. So Jay, hit us with your final thoughts and take us on out.
If we're giving it a grade, not a grade, I would have to probably give this PLE, I would say a 7 out of 10. The second half of the PLE really worked for me. I thought it was excellent. I thought every match built up and hit the way it was supposed to. The Usos match was good. Like I said, Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky had the best match of the night, in my opinion. The mixed tag match was fun. And again, I think we had a good, strong main event with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. I just feel like the start of this PLE is kind of what left a bad taste in my mouth. Just because like it's we've already been down a certain road before, and if they wanted to go that down that road again, that's fine. But in my opinion, just do something different, right? Even if Brock were to still win against Cena, it didn't have to be the same way that he did it over a decade ago. A decade ago, it made sense for Brock Lesnar to beat down Cena the way that he did because before that, Brock had ended the Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania. So after Brock did that, it was just a launching pad for Brock. Like pretty much every year after that, while Brock was a mainstay in WWE, it was all about Brock, and it made sense. Now it's not all about Brock. It's about Cody. It's about Punk. It's about Seth. It's about Becky Lynch. It's about all these other people that are in here. And I don't feel like Brock needed the win. I feel like Cena is in his last months in his retirement year, and this is the time to just celebrate this man. Because he's just done so much, in my opinion, for the business. But other than that, again, I thought it was a very strong PLE. I am very excited and curious to see what WWE has planned next with ESPN in the future. We know we got Cody and Rollins coming up with their championship match at the Crown Jewel pay per view or PLE, sorry. And we also know that Stephanie Vaquer will be going up against either Tiffy or Jade or Knight, with the next PLE as well. So excited for that. Also, real quick, I'll say because we mentioned AEW a couple of times, shout out to them. They also had a great pay per view, great spots, great surprises, fantastic main event in my opinion. And also, instead of giving a regular closeout, I will say again, thank you for the love and support, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. But The Undertaker made a surprise appearance as well on this PLE Wrestlepalooza, and he even surprised Stephanie McMahon. He surprised her by announcing that she will be the first inductee in the WWE's Hall of Fame of next year. And all I have to say for that is it's always great seeing Undertaker. He's my favorite wrestler of all time. But also, congratulations to Stephanie McMahon. Thank you for everything that you've done for the business. Thank you for who you are as a person. Thank you for also being so good and great at shining a light on women's wrestling, getting us to where we are currently right now. Thank you, Stephanie. But that's all I got here, guys. Till next time, stay nerdy, my friends.